Steve Jobs, a rebel and icon, dead at 56, father of four, inventor of the Apple computer, inventor basically of the iPhone, the iPod, and the iPad. One of America's foremost business executives, a master retailer, a master inventor, a demanding boss, has died, succumbing to liver cancer and pancreatic cancer just today. You're watching CNBC's continuing coverage of the life and now the death of Steve Jobs. John Fort is with us from Silicon Valley from a conference that he was attending, and I'm sure the word there, John, has begun to trickle out. I know it has reached a gentleman you intended to speak to, Larry Ellison, who has asked not to be interviewed at this time. He's quite shaken up. John, what is the chatter out there? How did this word begin to trickle through?
Well, I got it via email, and, I've been at this camera just waiting to come on and talk about this. I haven't heard a lot of the chatter, but I'm here just after Larry Ellison's keynote, CEO of Oracle. He's known to be one of Steve Jobs' very closest friends, so of course we understand completely why he would not want to be on air with us right now. But, this story is pretty personal for me, too. When I first moved out to Silicon Valley in late 1999, my very first beat as a newspaper reporter was covering Apple. Which tells you sort of how important it was, or not as important it was at that point in time. It was a struggling company. Steve Jobs was a known name, but it was not the titan of technology that it has become today. I've had the pleasure of talking to Steve Jobs, interviewing him a couple of times over the years, and really just watching him move along with Apple's success. He is the same guy that he'd been over this past decade when Apple wasn't a huge success and when it was. His vision had not entirely changed. See, I'm having trouble talking about him in the past tense. He was the sort of person who walked around his neighborhood in Palo Alto, went to the store, neighbors would talk to him. He didn't live behind a big gate. He connected with people the way his technology connected with people. He was focused on the products that Apple created, having a sense of culture and a sense of place, something that was so unusual in Silicon Valley before Apple, and something that now everyone else is trying to emulate, from the Facebooks and Twitters on down. So really a momentous moment in technology, in business, and really in the culture of our life today, Tyler.
And this was a man who built by market cap value the largest technology company in the world. This was a company that was on the ropes, John Ford, as you remember, as we're joined now by Molly Wood, executive editor of CNET.com, on the Newsline. Molly, this was a company that not all that long ago was really on the ropes, had to turn to Microsoft for a cash investment or a lifeline, a company that had a minuscule market share in the computer business and has never had the biggest market share in either computers or in telephones. And yet, it was the company, and Jobs was the man who made the things we wanted before we even knew we wanted them. Molly Wood?
It is remarkable, and it's not at all an exaggeration to say that it was the vision of Steve Jobs, the single-minded vision of Steve Jobs that took Apple to a place where it was a company that changed the world, that absolutely changed the world.